Hey everyone, Tofu here, and welcome back to more Banjo-Tooie! Last time we finished up Jolly Roger's Lagoon, or at least we finished up what we could for now. Well, today we're gonna move on to the fifth world in the game, which is pretty exciting. But we've got a couple things to actually do first here in Isle of Hags. By that I mean we have, like, one thing to do. I just want to go back to Spiral Mountain really quick because I believe we have enough Cheeto pages now to actually get another cheat code from Cheeto, so we're going to go ahead and do that. There's also another thing for us to do in Spiral Mountain right now that we could not have done before, and I think it's actually the last thing to do in Spiral Mountain aside from just getting any more cheat codes. So, down in the water here, there is a boulder with Kazooie's face on it, and of course, since we have Talent Torpedo now, we can just go right into that and get ourselves a Jinjo. So that's very cool. And that should be actually everything to do in Spiral Mountain now. Like I said, aside from actually coming back here for cheat codes, but otherwise, yeah, there's nothing really else to do here. But we'll go ahead and climb back up to Grunty's lair, because I think we have enough Cheeto pages now. I'm not actually sure how many we have, but I just know I usually come here. So, yeah, we've got 8 right now, so we have enough to turn in some more. Almost enough to get another cheat code entirely, but we'll save that for later, I guess. So, of course, the next cheat code is eggs. And since the first code doubled our feather count, well, I'm sure you can guess what the eggs cheat will do. But I'm actually not going to activate that right now, because there will be a better opportunity to do it, not, like, super later, like, we're probably still going to do it in this episode, but we don't need to do it right away. That was kind of a weird thing, that just fell onto the ground, but I didn't take any damage. It happened so fast, but that was kind of the point, because I used Beak Bomb to get back here quickly. Anyways, we're done with Spiral Mountain. I don't know what I'm saying. Let's actually go now and go to the Pine Grove, because this is where we actually need to go to access the next world. And I can't remember if I actually went... Whoa, that was some lag. Do I? No. I don't do that right now. Sorry, I'm thinking ahead. I'm thinking about other things. You'll see what I'm talking about soon. But I can't remember if I actually showed this or not. I think I did. There's another boulder down here with Kazooie on it, so you know what that means. It's Talent Torpedo time. Let's get that out of the way, and we actually have something pretty darn cool in this little tunnel. I think I spoiled this at the start of the game, when we did this the first time, but we're going to see an old friend in here, and that old friend is, of course, you saw a little bit of him there, but now you see more of him. It's Klungo, who is now the revenge-seeking minion. Before he was the minion with the mission, now he's seeking revenge. And he's looking pretty beat up. I guess Grunty was not happy with him for losing. Man, poor Klungo. He just wants to impress her. He's not getting anything. Okay. So now he's gonna do the clone attack. Well, it might be different for you, because like I said, his attacks are random, or the potion he uses is random, rather. For the first time we fought him, he had the growth potion. Now he's got the clone potion, but he also has an invisible potion. And the secret to this fight is you have to hit the real one, and the real one is always the last one to come out of the little pile of Klungos, I guess. I honestly got pretty lucky there. I really wasn't paying too much attention to it, and it can be tricky to tell. Mainly because, like, the camera shifts automatically after each phase, so it can be kind of difficult to tell. I think this one here is the last one. Let's try and hit him. Okay, yep. That was really easy. Damn, I, like, hit him right against the grate, too. It's like he was getting impaled there. I'm sorry, Klungo. You don't deserve that. You're a nice guy. Yes, we did. Can't be good for your health, Klungo. Why not retire? No, Klungo. Klungo, she doesn't need you. You're better than her. Klungo, no. Klungo. I'm sure he'll be fine. That's the way we came in. We want to go this way now. And then never come here again. I don't know if I actually explained this, because it doesn't really need explaining. But, like, the other Digger Tunnel back at Spiral Mountain, you just can't go there again. Like, after you beat Klungo, it just goes directly to Jinjo Village. And similarly, if we go through this tunnel again, it'll just put us back in the water in Pine Grove. And I mean, like, it makes sense, because, like, there's nothing in those areas, so, like, it's just a waste of time to actually go back through them. But it is kind of sad, I feel, that, like, you just can never go back to those little areas again. I don't know. It's just something I think about. But now we have made it to the wasteland area of Isle of Hags, which is completely new to us. So, let's first go near that silo to actually be able to warp back here. And then we've got another Jam Jars move, and this is actually the last Jam Jars move in the Isle of Hags. This is the Clockwork Kazooie eggs. This is a remote control bomb. And these eggs, I don't personally know a ton of uses for them, because they're mainly, I think, for speedrunning or just major glitches that, like, completely mess with, like, I don't know, sequence breaking and whatnot. I don't know. But basically, what you can do with these eggs, I'll show you up here. I don't think these guys will come to me. Oh, god damn it. Well, okay, well that guy's obviously a Minjo. Come on, dude. Okay. So let me just show you. I'll try to shoot it up there. Switch to Clockwork. We'll shoot it up there. We will deploy a little mini Kazooie, and we can freely move it around. And we can just detonate it whenever. And we can use it to kill that Minjo. We don't need to do that, but... well, we did, and now he's dead. But we got the real Jinjo there. And we're actually really close to completing the Black Jinjo family. They have the most, and they're usually kind of spread all throughout the game, but we only need 3 left, and we still have, like, what, 4 worlds to actually go through, so... I don't know, we might get that Jiggy sooner rather than later. But we'll see. But yeah, I think that's actually everything I want to show off in this area right now. There's a couple more places we can go from here, but we really can't do much over there right now, so there's not too much of a reason to do that. Let's actually go in this world entrance here that we opened up a couple episodes ago by now. And inside, we have made it to Pterodactyl Land. Not Pterodactyl Land, Pterodactyl Land. There's a warp pad right by the opening here, which you can kind of very easily miss if you're not paying too much attention. I feel like they kind of should have put it, like, right here, like, front and center, rather than off to the side. It doesn't really make a ton of sense that it's there, but... oh well. So, this world is huge. This world is completely massive. From this point of the game, the worlds are going to be much bigger and take a ton more time to actually complete. Like, just look at this. Look how tall that mountain is. Like, we're going to go all the way up there, and this all wraps around, too. Like, this world is humongous, dude. It's insane. So, I will try to do the best I can here. First thing, though, we want to shoot a grenade egg at that, little button there. I don't actually know if you need a grenade egg to do that. That's just what I've always done. I think you need enough, like, pressure to actually hit it down. Got these dinosaur enemies here who are kind of strange, but I'll touch on that later when it actually comes up. And then we'll go over here, off to the right, I guess, of the entrance. There's some notes over here. There's some more up there. But more importantly, what we want to get is we want to get actually on the platform. Come on. I'm trying to be fancy with my little ground pound trick. Could just grab it, but no, gotta be fancy. But what we actually want over here is a new move. Springy Step Shoes. There they are. These are kind of a weird move because they're not really necessary. I mean, I guess they're kind of unique in the sense that, okay, well, they're actually gone now. We don't actually get to use them. That was just to, like, show what they look like. It's kind of weird to put it in a place where you don't actually get to use it, but basically you just kind of get the shoes, walk around where you need to, and then you press A, and then you jump extremely high once, and that's it. It's kind of like a super, like, one of the spring pads. It kind of makes the spring pads redundant, because you bounce higher with the shoes, and you can move them, and you can kind of jump anywhere with them. So there's really not a point in having the spring pads anymore. I mean, they still have them, but I guess it's just areas where they don't feel like giving you the shoes. But yeah, it's a fine move, but it's not the most exciting. What we actually want to do here, though, is get a Clockwork Kazooie egg out. And I don't actually remember what the intended way for you to get this Jinjo is, or if this is the intended way. They just want you to mess around with the Clockwork Kazooie eggs. But if you want to, like, you can get a bit of extra height here if you stand, like, on top of this little light thing on Jamjar's silo. And that will allow you to get a bit more height to actually make this shot properly. So you want to try to shoot this Clockwork Kazooie egg into that little hole there with the Jinjo. And it will go kind of arc downward a bit, so you want to shoot a bit higher. Let's see how that turns out. Nope, that was just barely not right. I think we want to shoot a little bit higher than that. Unfortunately, our reticle reset, so I don't actually know exactly where I was. Let's try that. That looks to be about perfect. Okay. So that's really all I need this guy for right now. So honestly, we can just have them blow up. It's kind of sad seeing the little baby birds blow up, but oh well. They're robots. They're robots, right? Yeah. I mean, probably. Let's just not worry about that. Let's just not think about that. There is a little passage here that will take us further up the mountain, but not really that further. So, it's going to take us to the left side now, just to kind of show you where we are in relation to where we were. That's the entrance, so we're just on the left side now. So we've got these guys around here, and okay, I want to actually talk to you and not just get hit. If you try to approach them, they will just hit you like that, so you've got to go around them, which is of course difficult to do on this narrow platform. So we have to actually shoot a Clockwork Kazooie egg over him, and then go from behind, and yep, we've got to attack him right in his ass crack, which is for some reason extremely visible. I don't know why. But yeah, as that guy was saying, there's like 4 of him left, so we have to shoot all of those guys. I'm not necessarily shoot, we just have to kill all of them. We have to blow them all up from their butts, because that's the only way to kill them. So we've got to look out for those guys throughout the level. Down here in the water, we've got another Talon Torpedo thing. This one is not actually a boulder that we will break. Instead, it is a switch. And doing that will open up that little grate, and will allow us to get this Jinjo. It is kind of weird that they have it open from a completely different area, or like a different place, even though it is in the same general area, but it's like, you could have just like put a boulder there and had that break, and then the Jinjo was just there. But I guess we kind of just did that in Spiral Mountain, so they were trying to be a little bit different with it, but it's still not super different. Can I do that now? I actually don't know. So there's an egg up here, which I know we can't do anything with this right now, but there's also a little honeycomb off to the side, and there is definitely something you can do with that, later. I mean, it's not, like, super later. There's just some, like, turbo trainers over there that you can walk across the water with, and then, you know, actually jump into that hole. But you can also just miss. You can also just shoot a Clockwork Kazooie in there and get it just fine. And as you saw, if the Clockwork Kazooie goes on water, it just explodes. So don't shoot it on water. But we got that honeycomb. So let's carry on. And actually, I don't want to go that way. I want to go this way towards the waterfall, because if you look closely, there is actually a little pole thing for us to grab onto. I mean, I think it's a vine, but it's a very sturdy vine. We want to climb all the way up the waterfall. I remember this, like, lags a ton on, like, actual N64. Just with, like, all the water rushing down. But, thankfully not too bad here. Anyway, now we are in this little cavern area. Before we go that way, we want to go over here, because there is another empty honeycomb on the little side area over there. Now let's actually go through the water here. And there's not a lot in here, but eventually we will reach a place where there actually is some stuff. So first of all, down here, if we dive, there's a bit of some notes down here at the bottom. I think there's 4 of them. 1 in each little corner. And it is really dark down here. Jeez. There we go. Watch out for that eel, who is back. But another thing we want to get quickly, while in this area, is we want to climb up here, grab along that edge there, and go this way. Because there is a split-up pad, and there is also a new move for us to learn here, which is pretty exciting. And what they want you to do is they want you to kind of grab this with Banjo right now and just kind of climb across that way. But there are, like, enemies there, and Banjo has no way of dealing with those without Kazooie. So what you can do instead is just pack-whack jump up here. And it's much easier, and that's just the best way to do it. So now we got Taxi Pack. No Kazooie means space in your pack. So basically we can now pick up things with Banjo's backpack. But only when he's by himself. So we do that by pressing Z and then left on the C stick. And now he'll just hold it out. But it's a very situational move. Like, you can't just put anything in there. Like, you can't just... I mean, it looked like we picked up those feathers with the backpack, but we just collected them naturally. So there's going to be a very few amount of specific things that we need that ability for. So it's not like a move we'll be making use of all the time. But we will need it for a few things later. Let's go ahead and actually get back up here and get back with Kazooie, because that's all we need Banjo for by himself right now. Hello, my avian friend, whom I love very much. Okay, so now, we don't want to go that way because we were going against the water before, so we don't want to go with the water. So this way is actually the way we want to go to progress. Let's get back on the little ledge here, and then talent right away to victory. Or go back in the water. And there is the exit. And we'll actually be pretty high up the mountain once we get out of here, so don't be alarmed, because we will be pretty high now. You actually do want to be careful, because the ledge here is pretty narrow, and it's very easy to fall off. Especially when you've got, like, these pterodactyl guys flying around. So you want to try to shoot these guys down before they can get you, because they will, like, hone in on you as soon as they see you. So, and if they hit you, you're gonna go flying off the edge, so you really want to be careful about that. So, you may be able to hear, I don't know if you can see him from here. I don't think you can. But you can hear, like, the sound of a guy swinging his little club around, and that's another Rocknut tribe member. So, we want to go ahead and poop out a little Kazooie egg here. And we can send them through the little holes to actually access new areas. And if the game will load, there's that guy. So let's hit him in the butt again. I don't know how that guy managed to get in here, but I guess he could somehow fit through that hole too. So yeah, that's 2 of them down. I think there are 3 left. Let's see if we can actually get a Clockwork Kazooie egg here. Not that this actually matters, because we're going to refill our eggs entirely pretty soon anyway. But Clockwork Kazooie eggs, since they're so good, they only have 10 of them right now, maximum. So they're a very limited resource, so pretty much anytime you see an egg basket now, unless you're really low on a certain other type of eggs, you're pretty much almost always going to be replenishing Clockwork Kazooie eggs, just because they're so valuable. But yeah, we got a Globo right there, so I should tell you that either Mumbo or Humba is pretty nearby. And well, actually I don't think it's this area. Nope, this is a completely separate part of the map. Actually the Globos are pretty far away from both Humba and Mumbo in this world, but that's fine. We've got some notes over there, and I guess I'll get those now because, if you actually go over here, you can see a sign here that says Path to Nest Upward. So we're going to have to get some springy step shoes and actually bring them over here and bounce up there. And it can be difficult to kind of manage that while also trying to collect those notes, so I don't mind getting those right now. But if we go in here, I believe this should actually be some pretty familiar territory. So there are the springy step shoes. I guess I'll get those quickly just to show them off. We can take them outside, and we can just bounce. But I won't actually go up to the nest right now because there's some stuff I actually want to do in that cave. But yeah, we just press A, and we just bounce really high. And that's all the springy shoes do. You have them for a limited time, so make sure to bounce exactly where you want to, quickly and efficiently. So you got this guy here, who will only let us through if we are not wearing the springy step shoes. I actually don't know what happens if you go through it. I don't know if he kicks you out or if he just blocks you again. But, yeah, I think he just blocks you. Yeah. Okay, he does actually kick you out. Well, that was rude. But yeah, for some reason they do not want you coming in here with the springy shoes actually on. Which I don't really know why. I don't actually know why. But let's actually pass through normally and see if I can figure that out, because I've never really stopped to think about why they don't let you through in that case. I don't know. But we have a switch here, which will open up this grate. And does this room look familiar to anyone? Possibly. This is the room where we had to get that golden statue back from a guy who looked kind of like this other guy out here. We had to get it back for a guy in Mayhem Temple. So if we actually go this way, this actually will lead back to Mayhem Temple, which is pretty cool. And we actually do have to come back here because, well, we have a cheat code for eggs. So let's go ahead and turn that in while we're here. So might as well do that. Oh, get that S. Okay, there we go. We got the eggs cheat now. Sorry, I wanted to cut there because I didn't want to show you me messing up the egg cheat, or I didn't actually mess it up. I messed it up once, but it's just easier to focus when I'm not talking. So now we got the egg cheat on, and if we get rid of this guy first, so I can actually have room to show you, now we have a ton more eggs. Stop it! Okay. So yeah, now we have a maximum of 20 Clockwork Kazooie eggs, which is a lot more than what we had before, but still not a lot in comparison to all of our other eggs. So they're definitely still a very valuable resource, and you should still definitely probably replenish those every time you are near an egg basket. So definitely still want to use your Clockwork Kazooie eggs very cautiously. And before we actually go back to Pterodactyl Land, there's actually another thing that I want to do really quickly in Mayhem Temple, and that is leave Mayhem Temple and go to Glitter Gulch Mine, because there's actually a couple things we can do here now that we have a few abilities. And since we have a shortcut here right from Mayhem Temple to Glitter Gulch Mine, well, we might as well just make use of it, so that's what I'm gonna do. So let's go ahead and get to the nearest warp pad, because warp pads are good. You don't get hit by the Yeehaw Man. Let's go over to Mumbo's, because that should be where the nearest warp pad is. It is still kind of far away. Like, we might have been better off just walking to where we need to go, but oh well. So first thing we want to do is let's go to outside the crushing shed, because I don't entirely remember if I showed this off when we were in this world, but there is a Jiggy at the top of that waterfall there, and in this box, we have some spring shoes, and now that we can use them, we can bounce up here, get that Jiggy, no problem. And now, that is actually everything in Glitter Gulch Mine. So, that was the last Jiggy we needed to get, and last time, well I don't think it was the last time specifically, but when we were in Jolly Roger's Lagoon, we got the last Jinjo that we needed as well, so that is now everything in Glitter Gulch Mine 100% complete, which is very, very cool. I did not mean to get those shoes again. So, there's actually one more thing for us to do, though, even though it's not technically something we have to collect. Well, it is something we have to collect, but it doesn't count towards the actual totals. And I'm trying to think what is actually the best way to actually make it over there. So we have these little areas which we didn't actually explore, because we kind of came here from other places. That is for the dynamite, and I think that takes you to a room that we kind of found another way into. And I hope that's not the room that I actually wanted. I don't think so. I think this is the room I actually want to go to, because I think this is the storage room. Yes, this is where we actually got that Jinjo back from Jolly Roger's Lagoon. And this will take us to the little waterfall area. Even though we were just at a waterfall area technically, but this is like the actual water area of the level. I think it's actually just called Waterfall Cavern. Yes, it is. But there is a rock here with Kazooie on it, so let's Talon Torpedo that. Break that open. And let's see what we've got inside. Can we actually go to that hole, please? Thank you. And it looks a bit icy in this tunnel, which makes sense considering that it leads to... Bum, 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 bum. It's Hailfire Peak's Icy Side. This is a world that we have not even opened yet, but we got a little shortcut to it. Well, it's not even a shortcut because we are completely blocked off from the rest of the world, but there's a little preview of it. We'll be going there a bit later. And up here, though, we have a giant vault. A giant ice vault. And what do we need for that? Well, a giant ice key, of course. And we got that from one of the Banjo-Kazooie cartridges. We got that in Jinjo Village. It would have been so cool if you could actually use this the proper way and, like, get this from Banjo-Kazooie to unlock this. But, unfortunately, that's not how it worked out. But inside the giant ice vault, we've got the legendary Mega Globo, which is supposed to have really special magical powers, apparently. But it definitely does. You may have seen Humba Wumba in the Isle of Hags in the Pine Grove area. But we didn't actually talk to her yet because we didn't actually have a Globo at the time. And also, she doesn't just accept any old Globo. She needs the Mega Globo to actually do what she needs to there. So that is pretty cool. But I'm not going to go ahead and worry about that right now. Because, well... I just don't really care to do it right now. So, I'm just gonna go back to Pterodactyl Land, because that's where this episode was supposed to be going. Okay, back in Mayhem Temple. We want to go back to the world entry to actually get back to Pterodactyl Land, because we need to actually fly to get back to that little shortcut, which is... The flight pad is at the start of the level, so we want to go that way. And let's just beak bomb our way back through that little door. Oh god, don't crash into the wall. Just go back through here. And we will be back at that place in no time. So, let's go through here. I guess the reason that they didn't want you to bring the spring shoes over here is... I still honestly don't get it, because, like... This is there's nothing in here that I feel like would break if you brought the spring shoes this way. I don't know, maybe it's just like some coding thing that they just didn't work here properly. I don't understand, but we'll go ahead and get the spring shoes and actually take them outside, and go up towards the nest that we saw a little bit ago. So, let's take that over here. Be very careful as we walk across here because you can see you kind of bounce a little bit as you move, and that was close. So it can be a bit difficult to actually walk where you want to go, especially across narrow platforms. But if we go up here, we've got someone who is apparently very angry about us stealing his eggs. So he's gonna spit stuff at us from above, which is gross. But that's fine. So we just kind of just keep moving. Just don't stop for anything. There's no real collectibles here, aside from just random eggs to pick up. But we're good on those. So you don't have to stop here at all. I do just think you should go out of your way. It's not even really out of your way at all, but just make sure you get that warp pad up there. So I dare you to come up the stairs. I'll show you what happens to egg-robbing bears. Hey, that rhymed. Who are you, Gruntilda? No, she doesn't rhyme in this game anymore. But yeah, that is it for this episode, I think. So, next time we will actually go up these stairs and confront whoever this mysterious, angry, pterodactyl dinosaur is. And we'll show him who's boss. Probably. So, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!